Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Thursday, March the 9th, 2023. Thursday, March the 9th, 2023. And today was a typical Thursday on the Young and the Restless. Nothing to scream, and shout about. We have Billy sitting down, joining Ashley, and of course, offering his opinion on Tucker and how he doesn't approve of Ashley hanging around with him and he this, he that, and he this. And Ashley's just looking at him like, little brother, sit down. Little brother that's been the screw up all your life, sit down, right? And so Ashley's like, so, are you trying to tell me people aren't capable of change? Tucker McCall, no. No. And he goes, what about people saying you're not capable of change? Well, I try to change. And she goes, and what makes you think Tucker doesn't either? You might try, but are you succeeding? Because really? So Ashley wasn't budging, right? She was not budging, but she was so diplomatic about it. She was almost a little Tracy-ish with Billy. And so finally she had him backed into a corner about his judgment on people, right? Because Billy judges Adam, Billy judges Tucker. Actually, believe it or not, Billy, when he's pissed off at Jack, judges Jack, passing judgment on Ashley about, how could you let yourself? And so she goes, Billy, first of all, my relationship's my relationship, whatever it may or may not be, not yours. And so he's saying that, well, yeah, he's got a new relationship, but, he doesn't. She goes, wow, so soon. See, isn't it funny? You don't want to be grilled, right? So soon, like after you break up with Lily. Who is this person? I'm not ready to say yet. Oh, okay. There we go. So it was, they pretty much, he tells her that Jack offered him the co-CEO of Jabot. And she goes, well, that would end horribly. And he looked like, well, thanks for the vote of confidence. She goes, it always has, Billy. And he goes, well, things are different. I want to work with my family. And he picks up the phone in front of Ashley, calls Jack, hey, Jack, about that conversation we were having. Let's talk about it. So Ashley just looks at him like, here we go around the mulberry bush again, right? Again with Billy and Jabot. But she's staying out of it because she don't care. She got her own thing going on, her own autonomy. Because if you notice, Ashley doesn't answer to Jack. She merged her company, My Beauty, back under the Abbott umbrella, but Ashley is still separate. Let's be real. Plus, Jack knows if you piss her off, she'll take all her licenses and patents again. And it crippled Jabot when she did that. So then we have another cute, I really liked the interaction, Tucker and Devon. Devon tells him right off the bat, this is strictly business. And so Tucker goes, oh, so no like father, son kind of reading. He goes, nope. He goes, okay. And so Devon is asking him, and he grilled him about, oh, but you know what? You made me think that you were offering this to me first. And now I find out you went to Newman first. So you just lied. And he goes, well, no. He says, when I came to you and said, I want you to have it, I want you to carry on my legacy. Because he goes, all that talk about me carrying on your legacy. He goes, no, that's still true. He says, here's the thing. When I approached Victoria, I already knew they were trying to do a hostile takeover. They were trying to buy out my debt. I was going to just get a good price from them right out the bat. He says, but another benefactor came in and bought out my debt and consolidated it. So then I didn't need to sell it to Newman. He says, then I could take a beat and, offer it to you. Now you have something, I'm offering you some, a good company, a good bones. And so he goes, and Devon asked him something. Oh, he goes, oh, okay, really? So you're not just trying to unload a dying company onto the nearest sucker, right? Like that sucker would happen to be me. And that actually offended Tucker. And you could see it in his face. It kind of made him mad. It offended him a bit. And he told Devon, you know what? I take offense to that. This has been my company. This is my life. And for you to say, I just want to unload it because it's worthless, he goes, that couldn't be no further from the truth. He goes, and you know what? I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I see you don't want it. I'm just going to go ahead and leave, Devon. Hey, right? So Devon said, you don't have to leave. So Tucker turned and he looked at him. He goes, as a matter of fact, if you are telling me the truth, I'm seriously considering buying your company. And so Tucker looked at him and he's like, wait, okay. And he turns around and they sit down. Devon says, I have been going over the numbers and there's some definite concerns. And he tells him, he goes like, there's this random trucking company you have of all things, right? And so Tucker said, you want to know how, did I tell you how about that company? He goes, no. He says, yeah, the driver cut me off. And you know how on the back of trucks, they say, how am I driving? And they can leave a number. He says, so I called. I called the number and I bought the company and I fired the driver. The Tucker kind of chuckling, So Devon looked at him. He goes, we won't be doing any of that. Or he said, any more of that. And so Tucker goes, nope, no, we won't. He's like, no. So then he's saying, he goes, so what would you do? Just start selling off divisions? And Devon said, no, not initially. He says, first, I would want to see how with some revamping, can they work along with the others? Can they work together? So Tucker goes, okay. He says, Devon says, like I was thinking, the trucking company, we could use it for the artists when they're going on tour. This could, look, everybody, my dog has got to go to the bathroom. Hang on for a second. I got to let her out. I have the door closed. It is definitely cold and rainy out here. Okay, so the little doggy door is closed, so it's open for now. But anyway, so he says when they're going on tour, now we have transportation for their stuff and them, because he's probably thinking we'll revamp some of the trucks to make them really like luxury, whatever. And so he goes, wow, that's a good idea. And then Devon says, and your distribution is very, very antiquated. It needs updating. So Tucker goes, yeah, but people there's still a market for vinyl and CDs. And Devon said, well, if you're looking at it as a niche, yes. But overall, it needs overhauling. That whole distribution needs updating. And so Tucker goes, okay. And he goes, see, look, we're working together well now. He goes, this is going to work. We're working together well. I looked at him and said, working together. Is that how you think this is going to go? Because look, let's face it, Devon don't want to work with nobody, right? That is true. But look, Tucker ran the company into the ground. Would you say, yes, you're the man? He goes, that I want to work with this company. It's like, no, you're the cause of the problems, right? So Devon says, so you want to sell me your company and then what? And so Tucker said, I could take a role, a small role in the company. Look, I could even be, excuse me, everybody, advisor to the CEO. So Devon looked at him, he goes, so you're trying to tell me you would sell the company and then agree to take a lesser role just to work on our relationship? And Tucker said, yes, I would. So Devon just looked at him like, okay, well, you know what you're saying. You're saying the right things to me. You're saying it. We shall see, right? So good. I'm happy Devon is actually going to do it. I want him to really do this. I want that deal to be off the table for Victor and Victoria. So anyway, we have Chelsea runs into Summer and they're talking, and Summer, of course, invites her back to Marquetti, and Chelsea says, no, I'm not going to go back to that. And she says, I'm going to start something new, but I can't say now. It's in the conception or inception stage. And so they had a nice little talk, and Chelsea goes and sits at a booth, and Phyllis peeks and she sees Summer. So she's like pretending she was on the phone and hanging up the phone and say, oh, look at that person, right? And so she goes, well, hey, Summer, fancy meeting you here. She goes, really? You know, I come here twice a day. You know, she goes, yeah. So she goes, some kind of small talk, blah, blah, blah. She goes, well, listen, Summer, I'll leave you to it. So Summer's like, okay. Because remember, Phyllis in her drunkenness left all those crazy voicemails, right? So Phyllis turns around, hey, Summer, I bought a gift for Harrison. And Summer turned and said, Harrison? Really? And she says, yes. You know, I'll drop it by. Oh, wait. I don't want to run into Jack and Diane. Perhaps I'll just have it delivered. And so Phyllis says, Summer goes, well, Phyllis says, wait, they're out of town, aren't they? Summer says, yeah, so bring it by. Or Summer says, they're out of town. Now I can just drop it right on by. Oh, really? That's right. I had heard that. I heard that. So they went out of town. You know, is it business? No, they just went out of town. Okay. Listen, where'd they go? So Summer then looks at her. And now, mind you, Chelsea is earshot of all this. And she's looking at this whole interaction, right? And Summer says, what do you mean, where'd they go? Where'd they go? Did they go to the Bahamas? Did they go to Summer says, why do you care where they went? So Phyllis goes, I don't care. I don't care anything about Jack and Diane. So Summer said, then why are you asking all these questions about them? I'm not asking a bunch of questions about, and I thought, oh my God, Phyllis. Transparent much? Your intentions were clearly seen. You out the blue segue a gift from Harrison to where did Jack and Diane go? Did they stay in town? Did they go? Where are they? No. Not at all, right? Because you don't even say, I bought a gift for my step grandson, but how is he? No, not a question really about his well-being, because Summer says, if you even bought a gift, what? Yeah, if you did. But you know what? I don't have time for this. I'm going to go. So she turns and she walks away, and Chelsea's watching this whole thing. And Phyllis was like, psh. Like, I don't know what her problem is. You know, come on, Phyllis. I don't care about Jack, and she's the one that brought up Jack and Diane, right? So Phyllis goes to the Grand Phoenix. Kyle is at the bar, you know, and she's like, he was texting and then he put his phone down. Oh, was that Summer telling you what I just ran into her at Crimson Light? Was she telling you what a monster her mother is? And so Kyle looked at Phyllis and he goes, Phyllis, Summer would never say you're a monster. She might think it, but she wouldn't say it. So Phyllis looks at him and he's like, and so she says, well, something, she said she feels, because, hey, you know what, Phyllis? I really have to get back to work. Like, I am not about to get into this with you, right? She goes, Summer has her reasons for doing what the things that she does. So he says, and that being said, I got to go. So he gets up and he leaves his phone. Kyle, I guess, needs to have a chain attached to his cell phone because he leaves his cell phone everywhere. Now, mind you, he's a COO, so there's probably some sensitive data in there. Fortunately, it's locked, but you know with text messages, if you tap a screen and a text came through, that last text is going to show the portion of it that's going to show, right? So Phyllis looks and she sees his phone and she says, Kyle. Oh, okay. So she looks at the door to make sure he wasn't coming right back. She slides the phone over to her and she looks at it. And it was talking about a floral delivery to Lake Castaic or wherever, the Abbott cabin, where the Abbott cabin is. And she realized, so she puts the phone back down. And then she takes out her phone and she texts Jeremy, I found him. So she's letting Jeremy now know where Diane and Jack are. So let's see what they're going to do, because watch, Jack is going to do a rush wedding. We talk about, I just proposed to you, and now I'm going to say, let's get married tomorrow. You know, because Diane's up at the cabin daydreaming about her wedding, and it's at the cabin, and Ashley, you knew it really was a nightmare, because Ashley was happy for him and being nice Ashley to Diane and Tracy, and they had, oh please, Summer too. Oh yeah, that was a nightmare. So we'll see, something's gonna go down at the cabin for sure. I really, really honestly believe that. So that pretty much was it. Oh, Billy comes over to Chelsea's and she's just in her role. She goes, I got a groove. I'm inspired and I don't want to lose my momentum. And he goes, oh my God, I don't want you to either. What? And then he just really, so I'm sorry, sits down, starts talking to her. And they're talking, and he tells her he's gonna, he's trying to get Jack to accept he completely gets her out of her momentum. And she got caught up in it. She's talking to him. They're sitting down. I thought, look, when somebody says, I'm inspired, I haven't been inspired in the last day or so, but now my goodness, it's coming back to me. It's here. Let them be creative, but not Billy. Billy had to tell her all about Billy. So anyway, that's how the show ended, right? Now let's go to Comment Corner. B. Brown says, I call sexual harassment against Victoria if I worked for her. B. Brown also says, Lily needs to be strong like Jill. She's too soft. People don't take her seriously, especially men. When Catherine was alive, she didn't take no mess from anybody. She was her own woman and men respected her. Yes, they did. And DB also says, Nate got too much darn ego. He needs to slow his roll. And Anita says, I hope Devon buys Tucker's company. Diane and Jack's wedding plans will get blown up by Jeremy and Phyllis. This will definitely be exciting to watch. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. Let's see what they got coming up for them. And I hope you don't mean blown up physically. Literally. Well, no, Phyllis wouldn't go for that because her daughter would be there and Harrison. And Phyllis doesn't want anyone else dead. She just wants Diane dead. She doesn't want Jack dead either, So we shall see. We shall see. Ultimately, I think Stark is going to want to go too far and Phyllis will be the one to save Jack. I really, really believe that. So let's see what Cliffhanger Friday has to offer tomorrow. Let's see if the show is worthy of a cliffhanger, or we'll see. Young and the Restless is just slow going right now. So I will see you tomorrow for another daily. Look, I have General Hospital's thing up here. There we go. For another daily recap of the Young and the Restless.